Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here for this live stream. My name is Florin Lungu, and I'm so delighted to be with you today. And today I'm joined by a wonderful guest, my friend Simon Moritz. Welcome, Simon.
Thank you, Florian. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
It's my pleasure. So this is one of the series we do now, upcoming to our event Live to Lead conference. And if you don't know about Live to Lead, it happens on October 23rd in Gothenburg. It's going to be a half-day event, so you can read all the details at live2lead.se. But Simon is going to be one of the speakers at Live to Lead, so we thought that we take a moment to just introduce Simon to you. So if you participate in the Live to Lead, it's an opportunity for you to get to know Simon, maybe to get to know me if this is your first time you tune in. But also to get some insights into Simon's work. We're going to talk leadership. We're going to talk AI. We're going to talk perseverance and career paths and innovation. And we're also going to share some details about LinkedIn. So I'm so delighted to have you, Simon. For
Thank you.
someone who doesn't know you at all, and it's the first time they hear your name, who's Simon? Like behind the LinkedIn profile, behind the CV, who's Simon?
Oh, thank you, Florian. Well, I guess I'm Simon Moritz. I'm from Sweden, from the north of Sweden, actually, from a small village called the Wolverine Lake Village, if you would translate it. We were only 100 inhabitants. But then I've been working for 18 years at Ericsson and just graduated from that plant school and looking for new opportunities and challenges around the world. And one of that is that I also joined the John Maxwell network, which is so exciting to be in that team.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for choosing to join the John Maxwell team. It's great to have you in Sweden. We're strengthening the Swedish team, right, and our Swedish presence. But what led you to your work at Ericsson? Because I know you share with me you work with innovation, some of the most exciting projects around innovation and AI, like something that is now new to many of us after ChatGPT, but something that you worked probably for like the last 10 years or more.
Yeah, thank you, Florian. I think I have around 30 patents or so in AI and machine learning, and that area of metadata and stuff. And all of a sudden, it became super popular. But when I started back in 2007, it was not so popular, and we were just a handful of people at Ericsson. I was probably the first external recruited person to Ericsson working with the machine learning, AI, and data mining, what we all now refer to as AI. Back then, we talked about machine learning was the thing that real people did, and then AI was only the ones writing PowerPoints. But I guess now we are more into PowerPoint, many of us. But I think it's super exciting, and it's super exciting to be part of this journey for such a long time. And I have had the honor to work and think global and do a lot of innovation projects, like bringing the first autonomous 5D bus to the public streets in the world, and it was in the backyard of Kista. And it's been so many great projects. I met so many great people around the world, and happy to share more.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. What was maybe a defining moment in your kind of career? Like when you look back, like what led you to where you are today? Is there a moment that you could think about that kind of defines, Simon and your journey and your career and your?
Yeah, and I think I have several journeys, both technical journeys and also leadership opportunities and challenges. When it comes to leadership, I remember this time when I was around, just graduated from, I was around 2000 or something. And then I was going to this mission trip to Siberia. And I was accidentally becoming the leader of a small group of 8 people. We were 3 people from Sweden, 3 from Russia, and 3 from Estonia. And then we had to collaborate. And it was a sort of a culture crash there. And we just should decide whether we should go out fishing or not. And it was such a complicated thing. And I've been studying so much, democracy in schools and stuff, but I haven't really learned how to communicate or to bridge the gap on culture. So I think that was a defining moment for me, how to actually collaborate with people that didn't have the same background as I have. When it comes to technology, I think my time at Uppsala University, where we did the a really good IT project for, I think it was 20 weeks with 10 people. And I got the opportunity to work on an AI solution for ABB. It was a power line grid inspector. So it was a robot that had to learn how to climb on these power lines. So I developed a simulator training these kind of robots 1,000 times before we actually built it in real time and could hang it up on the power lines. And it was such an amazing thing to actually see from the digital realm to the physical world and see how those different worlds could actually connect to each other. So I think
And
from a technical view, that was super exciting.
how long ago was that? Like when you were working on this?
Yeah, that was around I guess 2006 or something. So soon 20 years. Yeah,
Wow.
crazy. Not that old.
Now you're experienced.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and I lost all my hair on the journey.
You gain wisdom.
Yeah, I hope so. Hope so.
Outside of your work and the passion for technology and AI and innovation, what's something else that thrills you or interests you and passions you?
Yeah, I love people. I mean, I love my wife, my kids, my 12-year-old daughter and 10-year-old son. We do a lot of good stuff together. But I also have the opportunity to meet a lot of other young people. So I'm a part of a church, and in that I am the Sunday school teacher. So I have people from around 10 years of age or 8 years of age up to 12 years of age, and I learned so much from them. They are like the new kind of people. They learn, teach me about Minecraft. They teach me about pickaxe and the netherite gems that you need to find. And they have such a fresh mind towards the future, and they also so honest. So if you talk to them and speak to them or whatever, and they don't like it, they just lay down on the floor and are bored. But when you get their intention, you really see kind of the spark in their eyes. And I learned so much, because the grown-up kids like you and I and others, we sometimes hide those feelings, and it becomes complicated when we communicate. But I think children has an opportunity to actually convey a more clear message. So I'm super excited to learn from them.
It sounds like they are a very straightforward audience. They tell you when they like it and they tell you when they don't.
Exactly. And I think that's a very big gift. Also, when it comes to leadership, I think sometimes we kind of have too much role game. We are playing the games, and we are not transparent enough between each other. And I love to build a culture also in companies where we have high ceilings. We can communicate. We can talk freely. We should not be afraid of losing our job. When it comes to cybersecurity, I learned like the other day that in so many companies, when you have phishing attacks and stuff, the people that get those phishing attacks, they are laid off like within a year. So at least 4% of them, and that creates fear and trust, and it makes that people won't speak up as they should have when it comes kind of other cyber attacks and stuff. And I think that is a really bad culture. But if we keep the culture from the kids, so to speak, I think we can communicate more freely. We feel safe and secure, and then we can also mitigate the risks that are coming more and more so now in the age of AI.
That's a very important point. So you touched a bit on culture, and you were talking now about your experience with teaching these kids, and how you being, and they are being open and transparent to you, and that kind of culture would be a culture that we want in our organizations. That kind of opens up, the topic of leadership. So, what's your view on leadership? Like, how do you see leadership today?
Yeah, I think actually I got a mug when I was 21 from my friends when I was in London. It says, "Leaders knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way." And it was a quote from John Maxwell. And ever since then, like 20, 25 years, I've been following him, trying to learn from him. He's probably one of the biggest names when it comes to transforming from a management thinking to a leadership thinking. And I think leaders, they see more and before others, and they also walk the talk. So now I think so many people are trying to put people in silos or boxes and then manage people, just control them. I don't think that is leadership. I think leadership is when you actually serve the people around you and you help them and lift them up higher and higher, and then find the golds and the sparks, the diamonds inside of them, so that they can actually be the best version of themselves. So a leader knows, the worth they have themselves, but also can share that and are not afraid to actually praise others and help others lift them up. I think that is a good way.
And is that how you learn about John Maxwell, by getting that mug?
Yeah,
that
I think it
statement?
was from the mug. Yes, I think that was the first. I know. I thought it was kind of a difficult sentence. Knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And from all these years, I mean, I studied a lot. I know the way. I've been going the way. I've been stumbling, falling, but I've never been showing the way for others that clearly. So I think now recently I started to write a book just on I felt sort of a calling to also start to show the way. And I think it's not, previously I thought showing the way was just, I need to be someone, I need to be on the stage. But then I came to think of, I don't need to do that. I don't need to be on the stage, but I really want to serve people. And if you are a leader, and if you have a leadership mindset, you really want to serve people by helping them. And sometimes we need to show the way first, like when you're helping people taking the driver's license. I had the honor to help a few guys to take the driver's license. But before they started to drive, I had to teach them, I had to show
Today
them how to
I've
drive.
been.
So
I'm sorry. I was loading this for us, and it shows. So you were talking that when you were helping someone to take the driving license.
yeah, exactly. So when someone is taking the driver's license, I drove with a few guys. They typically take the public transport, so they haven't been in a car that much. So I grew up in a car. So for me, I've been, seeing my dad and my mom and others been driving a lot. But the kids in Stockholm, for instance, in Gothenburg, they would probably take public transport and may not be so experienced in being in a car. So then I realized it's not enough just to teach what they should do. I need to show them the way. I need to know, how to drive a car. I need to drive the car. I need to have, probably done a few bad things as well, but then trying to learn from those experiences and then also show them the way. And when I show the way, then they could start. Then I could follow them and I can sit side by them, and then I can guide them and give them feedback and, coach them throughout and mentoring them. And then eventually now they can drive themselves and they are on their own. And still, once in a while I can come and then drive by them and give them some mentorship lessons and stuff. But I think that's a good way for leadership as well. We need to show the way, not for our sake, but for their sake.
So it sounds like these 3 steps, like knows the way, goes the way, shows the way, is more like that being like your mantra or like your leadership philosophy since you got that book and you've been thinking about it through that cup, right?
Exactly, yes.
But
it's easy enough for me to remember.
Yeah, and it starts with know the way, right? And so, and would that mean that actually leaders have to develop themselves first, right? To kind of know the way, and then to also go the way, meaning that to walk the talk.
Exactly.
Right, and then to guide, right? Because I'm trying to put this on like in easy terms, right? In easy language. What does it mean, right? So what it means actually is that leaders, and you mentioned a principle again. You said there is high ceilings in that organization. I don't know if you used that intentionally, but when you said that, I was thinking about John Maxwell's law of the lead, where the leader kind of sets the lead on the organization, right? And then in Sweden, or in my practice, I say that's a glass ceiling, right? So the leader is not aware that it's acting as a glass ceiling. And we had actually an executive in an organization that I worked for, and it was interesting because he was writing these letters, and 1 week he wrote in that letter about these glass ceilings because he was asking for I think he was looking for new executives to come into the executive team, and he
Yeah.
was asking his team for suggestions, and he got the same names. Right, there were the same names that they were rotating around those circles. There was no new names coming to the table, and then he realized, oh, there's probably a glass ceiling in the organization.
Right.
But he was
Right.
aware enough to understand that.
Yeah.
But so many of us, we just kind of have this, or act as a glass ceiling or as a bottleneck for our team, and we don't realize. So when that statement, and John says, a leader knows the way, goes the way, that's where leadership development starts with us.
Oh yeah, and I think we need to learn how to lead ourselves first. Because if we don't grow, how would other people grow that are we are trying to serve? So I think you need to invest, and I need to invest, and I know you have invested a lot, and I'm trying to invest as well, both in time and in money, and in the relationships as well, in yourself. And it's not to be just I do it for myself. I actually do it so as you say, I can increase the lid, so the lid is not so close, but expand the pot, whatever we have it, and then we can grow higher and higher. And I think everything that lives are growing. It's constantly changing. It's only dead things that are not sort of growing and changing. And I think you're onto something there. Yeah, we need to increase the glass ceiling and make it larger, not for our own sake, but for the people around us.
Yeah. And that's why I'm excited to have you at Live to Lead, because that's what we're actually providing people. Like, this is, you're mentioning, investment in time and money, and I mean, I don't know another way. How can I become better myself? How can I serve my clients? How can I lead better if I don't invest in myself? And when we talk with organizations about Live to Lead, that's what we're providing to them. It's actually an opportunity for them to invest in their people. And then if you are a leader, if you are a manager watching this, we want you to join us at Live to Lead on October 23rd. Simon is going to be in the room. I'm going to be there. We're going to have a amazing lineup. Yeah, absolutely. And this is like goes the way, meaning I'm not only sending my people to a training, I'm attending the training. That goes the way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I thank you, Florin, for this opportunity. I mean, I know that you are investing a lot. You probably won't even break even, but then you're serving us, everyone that comes to this event. And I know I've been part of the Maxwell family for some time now, a year or so, and it's not cheap. And then if you would have people on those kind of levels on site meeting you, it costs a lot. It costs a fortune. And now you are helping us. It costs nothing just to be in the room. And we don't need to travel or anything like that. You are just serving it on like a silver plate for us in Gothenburg, Unit 3 by Geely, 23rd of October. And I think it's such an opportunity. So I really want to do a shout out for all people in Gothenburg. Be there, be in the room. I think we have packed it with sort of like a candy jar with too much candy. But it's going to be a really amazing event. And I really want you for all of you and for myself to be in that room. And I think we're going to be inspired by all people, the speakers, but also around the tables and the people we'll meet in the network. And I think that's for such a time as this, it's needed. We need more people like you and I, like the people on here that is tuning in here on LinkedIn. I think all of us, we need to step up. We need to invest in ourselves, take the next step, and really, really be part of a change movement that can actually help people grow and do more than before.
Yeah, and I'm excited about that. So what would you? What's your perspective? So talk a bit about your book. Okay, so you just published your book. Like, we really need to give you credit for that, right? So Pickaxe Principle, right? To take advantage of the gold rush, right? The AI gold rush.
Yeah, I wrote this. I've been in technology for so many long time, 20 or so years, and been innovating and writing patents, building systems and services, autonomous vehicles and stuff. But I realized it's a major change that happens. We have all the different industrial revolutions, and now we are entering the fourth industrial revolution. And I learned so much about 100 years ago when Henry Ford invented not a faster horse, but a car that can take you from A to B without smelling like a horse. That invention was actually stuck in the mud because there were no infrastructure for those cars driving. So the wheels got stuck in the mud on the horse tracks. Today, all the innovation, the AI is the new car, but we are getting stuck into a digital infrastructure. We are in a digital mud. And I think the solution to that is not better technology, it's actually smarter and better leadership. So when you combine technology with the right leadership mindset, with a servant-based leadership mindset, we are actually changing. And now we're entering the fourth industrial revolution, and it's, we have physical, digital, and biological areas are merging, and we have powerful breakthroughs such as AI, automation, 5G, and IoT, but we are not connecting. It's like everyone communicates, everyone sends message, but we don't connect. And I think we can learn from, telecom, for instance. You communicate, you broadcast, but it's not until the other person on the other side takes up the phone and press OK that we actually truly connect. And as leaders, it's up to us to change the frequency. Old radios, you as a consumer, you were changing the radio frequency to listen to your favorite program, P1 or P3 or whatever. But now in this industrial revolution, the fourth, I think it's up to us as leaders. We should change the frequency. We should tune in to the audience so that they can listen, or the customers and the clients. And I think that's what the pickaxe principle is trying to help, but also find a goal within you and within me and within the people around us. And I know that there is gold in all of us. And I hope this can be a tool that can unearth that for us.
Wow. Where is the book available? Where can people buy it?
Oh, thank you. It's available on many different places. We have it on Amazon. We have it also on Adlibris, Akademi Bokhandeln here in Sweden. There is audiobooks in so many different places as well.
All right, so it's available in Sweden, because I remember you launched it first time in the United States, and then actually at the Maxwell conference, and then you brought
exactly. And now we haven't really have the release party here in Sweden yet, but for all the people in the room here on the Live to Lead, we're going to have a sort of a pre-release for you as well in the room before we have the real release.
Wow, so you have some books. You're going to bring some books with you.
Yeah, I need to order more, but I have some, so that will come, and it will serve you, hopefully, yes.
Absolutely. Fill up your store or your deposit. Let's switch gear a little bit. So you mentioned something there, that the biggest challenge right now is not AI, it's leadership. Can you unpack that for us a bit?
Yeah, so I'm as I said, I've been working in AI for such a long time. Did some, PCA analysis already back with WeChat 2011 or something when it was launched. But I see that now, if we have and it's also in this industrial revolution, the challenge that we see is actually power is concentrated and trust is eroding, and the leadership feels scattered. And I think if we are not cautious, we may make a world of technology that is not kind of the world that none of us want to see. And I think we need to build in smart business models. We need to build smart, communities or cultures. And I love the way that we have in Sweden. We have the quadruple helix thinking. We have, academia, we have civil society, we have industry, and we have what did I miss? So the civil society, anyway, the people should be in the center, and then the rest of us should work towards that. Other companies may have the government in the center or the business in the center or something. But I think in Sweden, we have actually the people in the center. And I think here we have not only an opportunity, but a responsibility to serve not only Sweden, but globally on a smart leadership way. And that's why I want all of you to be in that room and to be inspired, but also take up your pickaxe, your kind of baton, and run your race, because the world needs you, and it needs you in the room, but even more so needs you to live and lead the way at your company and your organizations, or if you're changing in the new business that you are embarking on.
Yeah, that's so good. What I'm thinking now is that you probably know this better than me, but my view is that AI is gonna level the field a bit, like meaning that some smaller companies that wouldn't have a chance to compete with the big giants now with AI may be able to do that. And
Oh
and
yeah.
then in times like these, uh, and I was having a conversation yesterday with someone with a leader in an organization exactly about that. In times like this, they are providing financial services. So there are now apps or sites or tools out there that could do much of the things that they provide. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so someone could start one of those humanless company like today and provide part of that company services like in a matter of months, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the competitive advantage of that company, that the older one, the traditional one? Well, I argue that it's the employees and the customers,
Yeah.
right? And so, in my view, with AI entering the workforce, and there are companies right now in Sweden, in Gothenburg, actually offering AI employees for admin work. And think
Yeah, I
about
mean,
that.
I think it's super exciting and also, as you say, challenging. And it's like the blockbuster challenge where you had the CD-ROM and the DVD CD, and then Netflix came in and then took the market because they were too slow to change. Now I think all big ones, but also SME companies that are not kind of ready for this new era may feel and find themselves in a sort of a challenging position. So I think they need to be, and that's why we need to transform from managers in the big companies and organizations as well to leaders. And leaders need to know the way, go the way, and show the way. And if you don't have those leaders in your organizations, you're going to be blockbuster. And I think if you want to be Netflix or the kind of new kind of rising stars and opportunities, you need to change, and I need to change, and we all need to find another kind of culture in the organization. So it's super exciting, but it's going to be rock the boat. The flip side on that is all the companies that are too young, too immature, and we may start something in a snowball that we haven't thought through. So big organizations, they have some, they have legacy, they have a risk of failing, so they actually are more cautious on not doing bad things or being too kind of too quick to this decision. And I think that is something we all others needs. Otherwise, we're going to be doomed and do maybe unthoughtful decisions, or we are a bit too quick to decide stuff. So I think we need the big, large corporations and their wisdom that they have. We need to empower those organizations with the right type of leadership, so that we are not doing things just too quick and just that we could, and then we didn't think why we should do that.
So what's your, like, if you would be sitting with a leader now and advising them on, Simon, you've been working with AI for so long. I mean, what should I be thinking about? What should be my AI strategy? Should I have one? Like, because I can see there is every single day there is news about new tools, new ways of using it around these models that are out there, and you could feel like a leader. You don't know, should we, as you say, go that route? Should we include this? Should we have a strategy? I mean, what should we think about? What's your view on that?
Yeah, I think it requires a bit of a reflection. I think we need to zoom out after all the zooming in. And now I think we are, getting all of us getting fear of missing out, AI FOMO. But if you want to thrive in the AI gold rush, as this book says as well, I think we need to not only see the trees, but also be able to zoom out to see the forest and maybe also the whole landscape around the forest. And not only becoming more effective, but also understand what is the effect we want to get. So with all the AI tools, we can become more and more effective, but it just means that we are spinning the wheel faster. That doesn't help us. But if we can, not only being, activity doesn't mean accomplishment, and neither is effectiveness making us reach the right effect. So I think if we want to reach the right effect, we really need to think of that and ponder and then make a plan, not for the AI, but for the wanted decision, and then do backcasting for where we are, and then plan ahead through the process to reach our final destination, the vision. And then I remember also what Simon Sinek normally says is like, you have in the business area, it's not a finite game, it's an infinite game. And we should not beat competition. We should be maybe ahead of competition, but we need to find our why. And I think that's something I want to challenge. And if I want to sneak peek from the book, it's like have this. I'll give it all to all of you, a bookmark, and it says like the first step that I try to do each morning is to find my why, and then break down that rock into smaller pieces. Then I want to refine that with others, working with others, and then each day also celebrate the wins that I had. So I think those is, if you have the good rhythm of life, then consistency of your daily decisions will compound over time.
Yeah. So it sounds like you should have a strategy for your business, and you then see if AI should be part of that, not create an AI strategy.
Exactly. So the AI will just be a technology. So we need to see the bigger picture, the where the forest is, and not only get stressed about the technology. It will constantly change. Also when you write a book, you should not write about the technology I learned. So in the book, I haven't written about these are the tools that I use because that will be outdated just when I publish the book. But I think we need to think and see bigger. And people says now we are going from a friend of mine mentioned this, Katarina. She mentioned that we are going from a plus AI to AI plus. So today we are adding AI to our kind of existing way of working, but in the future there will be ways of working where we start with AI, but then we need to add humanness on top of that. So we need to understand not only AI, but we have a human strategy. How would we work with the humans and the people? And I think that's where we have the biggest strengths and opportunities.
Yeah. And so in such a world, and even in today's world, like we call this like leading in today's world, and that's also the team for Live to Lead. Like we were thinking, okay, AI it's big, it's a big influence, but not only that, but the context, the economic context, the all that happens, the tariff wars and all that creates a context right now, especially in Sweden and in Gothenburg, where some people, kind of struggle because there are some, waves of lays off in different organizations, and even in Denmark here in the pharma. So the things are rearranging, and I think recently, and I kind of agree with that. I saw, I think Håkan Samuelsson, the CEO of Volvo, said, well, it's a responsibility for you as a leader when you have someone relocate to Sweden, that you have a plan that you think long term to be able to have a job for that person. Because I think what had happened was there were these signals coming from the industry, and that's the challenge actually that leaders have. Is there signals coming and you think, oh, now we're growing, let's bring more people, and then you think that having a bigger team will help you do more things or faster, and then if that need goes away or fluctuates or shifts, then you're left with the tough decision to let people go. And I think there is something there. There is a responsibility that we have for our people, and as leaders now, employee engagement and employee experience and customer experience should become our main focuses. So in my view, if you use any tools to gain like productivity, what do you do with that time? Where do you put it? If you're not putting it back in your people, in yourself, and in the customers, then you're actually missing the point. Why?
Exactly.
I mean, as you say, I think you put it very, very well, like spinning the wheels faster, right? But not getting anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. Activity doesn't mean accomplishment. So I think we need to know where we want to accomplish. But I also, I'm kind of excited by your journey as well, Florin. I know that you had, coming from another country, came to Sweden, to Gothenburg, and then find a major change. And like myself as well, I've been working and serving Ericsson for 18 years, and then when they closed down IoT, I find a major change. And I think I know that could be more people following our kind of journey. And I think we can learn a lot from you, Florin, and the ways that you have been sort of changing and pivoting in your own life and your own personal brand. So I think that's so exciting, and I think a lot of us can learn from you, and just feel that it's not sort of, it's maybe a scary move. It's like taking the step of faith or whatever to the unknown, but that's an exciting journey. So thank you, Florin, for kind of showing the way, and I'm following as well, kind of taking the step from the secure big companies to maybe something new. And I know that many of you, whether you are in a big, large corporation or a small one, there's always change, and everything that lives will find change. And I think we should embrace change, because that means that we are living. So keep on living.
Absolutely. When you say that, I'm thinking about there is a principle in decision making that it's this principle. You need to know when a decision is a one-way door, meaning there is no way back. When you get out of the airport, it tells you there's no return. If you get through these doors, you're out. You have to go back to the security. But there is no security come back in this situation. So think about decision like it's like a two-way door, meaning like you come in and you can come out, like this door in my room here, like in your room probably. Most doors are two-way doors, but some doors are one-way door. And so when you're thinking about, leaving a job and then going and doing something that you're passionate about, or, starting on your business, we're thinking about that as being like a one-way door.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. When in fact, it's a two-way door. Because if you now go do what you like to do it for a couple of years, and then you want to go back into a job, I bet you're probably going to get a better job than the one that you left.
Yeah. And I guess the reason is because you had then kept on growing, while if you are staying in the same ground, the same soil, you are kind of getting stuck. And I wrote about that in the book as well, about my neighbor Albin. And he had this trusty tiller, and he was always preparing the soil to new harvest for the potato field. And I think that is what happens when we are moving around once in a while, or every third year or something, within the organization, or in and out, whatever. But I think we should keep on moving. We cannot, plant the potatoes in the same field every single year, because then the nutrition around those potatoes will not be as strong. Then we need to change sort of the field where we plant the potatoes. Then we can come back, as you say, with a two-door swing.
Yeah. I want just to take a moment to talk a bit about Live to Live. So if you got some inspiration today and you get to got to know Simon a bit, and maybe me if this is your first time when you tune in, we would love for you to join us at Live to Live. We're working at it. It's probably going to be sold out. That's kind of the trajectory we're on. But we still probably have some tickets. So if you want to join, we would love for you to join us. Live to Live.se. But I know, like Simon and I could share about this, and we are kind of the speakers and somewhat the organizers. So of course we want you to join. But let's give an opportunity to some of our 2024 attendees to talk about it. Okay. So let me just pull this one here and for us and see. So you hear what people actually learn, or why do they want to join Live to Live.
Today I've been on the panel. It's been a fantastic opportunity. We see the great synergies between PMI, Project Management Institute, in the Swedish chapter, and Florin with Maxwell, and we just see it's a great chance to really, for us to come together. We both believe in leadership and all the tools around leadership, and today I really felt the power of positivity.
Meeting the people in the place, but also having a panel with people, from different industries. I love the sessions. The thing that I take the most from here is that we are all leaders. We can all be leaders because we can serve people by actually giving them value. And I'm very excited to go to my teams and implement everything that I learned here.
I love the ACT model, which Florin introduced us, which is like take action, but then change. And after you change, you're able to teach someone about those. And I felt that was very powerful to reflect after each session.
I'm at this event in Gothenburg, Live to Lead. I must say it's really inspiring to be here, to see so many people also. Maxwell talks were really opening up my mind to the possibility for me to start doing more of what I really want and to create the change. And I also somehow realized that the most of the limits are inside my own mind. So he really pushed the bar on that, and I want to go outside and try this new thing.
I really liked the event. It was really good. A lot of inspiring speeches. Maxwell, I really liked his talk about how solutions you find depended on negative or positive thinking. From Valerie, she was talking a lot about mental thinking, spiritual thinking, that you need to have a goal and you need to have an energy to get to that goal.
Being with Life to Lead is a good experience. The event itself, it is well organized. It was so inspiring to be here and listening to these good advices to give you more inspiration to start thinking in another way and just develop another mindset.
Here at Live to Lead, there was quite a few good speakers who shared their reflections and ideas. One that resonated with me quite a lot was the energy gap, especially the one about mental energy, how to manage it and to protect, because usually you want to do so many things, but at a certain event you realize you don't have the energy to do them all. And I think I need to manage my mental energy better to decide where I should put the energy down and to actually remove things that are not worth it.
It was a very well established event. The best thing at the flow of the event was we have a discussion with others in the tables. I think it was a great part of the event because someone's opinion will inspire you in your career, in your daily life.
It's an incredible event just for to gathering people, leaders, coaches, and people that really loves to develop themselves to be a greater leader and also to be their best version. This is a great event to really be part of and to see that we are many leaders that want to transform ourselves and also to lead others to transform themselves.
This is my second time to attend such an event. Even at my age, I learn a new thing every time I attend such things. I would recommend everybody else to have a chance to come and see this one. It's a great event. It's a lot of things you can gain out of it. And of course, you meet a lot of other people that you will learn from and probably you will influence as well.
Wow.
Wow, right on. Inspiring to just hear that. It's like when someone asked me, I think last year after the 2024 edition, I posted on LinkedIn, this is why I do what I do. Because,
wow.
I mean, when you have these kind of testimonials and you have these, people sharing that, then you realize, oh, okay, now I understand. Now I understand why I do, right? And then, and if we need another supporter here, here is my mom. My mom, supports me because that's how everything started.
Wow.
It's Romania, but I just want to, thank her here for everything she's done for me. So, yeah, mom, if you're watching, mama, dacă te uiți, mulțumesc mult. I'm just saying thank you to her. So we wanted to be in the room. I think you're gonna love it. If you haven't been to any of our events, you're gonna be blown away. You got a sense now of how it looks to be in the room. I mean, at Maxwell Leadership, I think we have a standard for everything we do in our events that it's, probably we set the bar very, very high. And people that haven't been to our events, they probably don't know what to expect. And so trust us on this. You would have a great day. You're going to learn a lot of things. You're going to have a lot of networking opportunities. So we would love for you to join us. So October 23rd, Simon and I would be there together with other, amazing speakers. John Maxwell will be on screen. Valerie is going to be on screen. And then we have Charlotta and Frederick. And we're going to interview actually Frederick on Wednesday next week on the 8th. So we're going to also feature Frederick. You're going to learn Frederick Hoflander, the founder of Egghead. Again, one of the other, tech and AI leaders in our circle, in our area.
With a nice haircut.
Yeah, exactly. So, but thank you so much for taking the time, Simon. If you would want to close this with a message for maybe if there's something you want to pass on, like how would you wrap this up? What would you say to someone watching right now?
I want to meet you and see you face to face. It's such a hard thing just to talk to a screen. And I like people. I like living human beings. And I think it's something that we really need to do more of in the age of AI, is actually to bring the people together. Otherwise, we get sort of a world that divides. But when we come together, when we meet live, face to face, we can do a high five or whatever, and we can just meet and inspire each other. So I'd love to meet you face to face, October 23rd, in the room of Unity by Dealey, in Gothenburg.
We look forward to see you there. To your point, I think human interactions become more important than ever in this era of AI. I mean, we are here live, streaming, but I think technology is out there that someone else or something else that looks like me and you could be here and kind of pretend that it's us. Like, I think there is technology out there that will have it could be an AI clone of us. So the only way for you to know that if it's you and I, it's to come in the room, to see us in flesh, to see us in 3D. And that's why I'm excited, because that's the kind of only genuine way that we know to connect with people at the end of the day, like in flesh and bones and in 3D. So we're excited for you to join us at Live to Lead. If you haven't been there before, you're gonna love it. We look forward to have you. So October 23rd, Unity by Jilly in Gothenburg. It's gonna be half a day packed with value, and Simon and I will be there ready to welcome you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Simon, for taking the time. See you
in 20 days. Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Take care. Bye, Simon.
Bye-bye now.